XM channel 127. It is Friday, December 4th, my friends. And in the next few minutes, I want to break down some of the biggest Trump BS election fraud claims because they're getting so much traction on the right. People are calling my show last night, Trumpers repeating this garbage over and over. I'll give you like in a nutshell going through each of them. On my show tonight, I'll go in more detail through all of them. But first of all, the idea that many people who were dead voted. Well, guess what? It's been debunked by PolitifaCt. They went through it in Detroit, Wayne County, Michigan, which was the big area. But besides that, as I wrote about a few days ago for CNN, in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, where Trump is claiming so many dead people voted when he's on the phone and when he's on TV talking about it, guess what? His own lawyers in that lawsuit wrote that there, quote, there is no evidence a ballot was cast by a deceased person, close quotes. Even Trump's own lawyers are telling you there is no dead people voting. It is a lie. It is a lie perpetrated by Trump over and over and over. And another quick one, and then I'll get to two bigger ones at the end. Next one, there were more votes cast than there were people registered to vote. You must have heard this one all the time. That's a lie. It is just absolutely false. Let's look at a couple of the key battleground states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia. In Georgia, for example, there's 7.3 million people registered to vote. How many voted? About 5 million. In Pennsylvania, over 9 million are registered to vote. How many voted? About 7 million. Michigan, same thing, a gap about 2 million between those registered to who voted. Yeah, turnout was great, but it was not over the number registered. And let's look at Detroit, the one area, because Trump really gets upset when black people vote, as we've learned his anger at Detroit, Michigan, and Philadelphia. Detroit, over 500,000 registered voters. If you listen to Trump, he tells you literally has said more people have voted in Detroit than have registered to vote. He even said that even live there, but registered votes even smaller. About 500,000 people registered to vote in Detroit. If you listen to Trump, 600,000 voted, 700,000 voted. How many really voted? About 250,000. Actually, about 48% turnout, which is remarkable, but still not even close. Done. 3, all judges who heard the Trump cases and dismissed him, and he's losing every one, were all Obama judges. That's a lie. First, a lot of them are state court judges, not appointed by any president. Either they ran for office or appointed by the governor, depending on the state. Secondly, in one of the most visible cases, and I think actually one of the most damning cases out there, the Third Circuit Court of Appeals decision came down on Friday. And Third Circuit just is the federal court that it's Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. The 3 judges, all GOP appointees. In fact, the judge that wrote the opinion throwing Trump's case out was appointed by, you guessed it, Donald Trump in 2017, Judge Bibas. And I just want to read 2 lines because this is the case where Rudy Giuliani went up there to Pennsylvania and argued in court and everything like this. As the Trump appointed judge wrote, first, the court slammed Trump's efforts to overturn the election, where Trump lost by 80,000 votes, writing, quote, voters, not lawyers, choose the president, adding ballots, not briefs, decide elections. And then he got to the crux of the matter. Trump appointee wrote, charges require specific allegations and then proof. We have neither here, meaning there's not even specific allegations and there's no proof. In fact, the judge wrote that in this case, Trump's not even alleging fraud. In fact, Rudy Giuliani backed that up days before in federal court. Because here's the thing. Trump's lawyers, like Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis, and of course Trump himself, lie nonstop. They lie, except when the lawyers are in a courtroom. Because if they lie to a judge, they'll get disbarred. So they're really treading so closely to the line because there's rules of professional conduct for lawyers. And as a lawyer, I can tell you this. We are not supposed to lie outside of the courtroom about material facts regarding a case. We should be at least disciplined, maybe not disbarred, but suspended. And it needs to be done with Rudy and Jenna Ellis. They're ridiculous. They're entirely, just lie after lie is hurting the entire practice of law, which already had a problem, to be honest. Now, here are the 2 big cases. I'll go into slightly more detail here, but on my show tonight on Channel 127 on Progress, I'll go into more. The first is this truck driver who drove hundreds of thousands of ballots from Long Island to Pennsylvania in October, and then they disappeared. And they clearly had to be then counted and all for Joe Biden, right? There's so many assumptions that are laughable. First of all, the lawyer who presented the truck driver's name is Jesse Morgan. The lawyer, Phil Klein, is a former AG in Kansas. Sounds impressive until you realize this. 2013, Phil Klein has been disbarred indefinitely, suspended from the practice of law because of his clear and convincing evidence of professional misconduct, including lies and unethical conduct. So this unethical lawyer is there. And then he's got Jesse Morgan, the guy who drove the truck. Jesse Morgan was in the 2000s charged with forgery, theft, and receiving stolen property, ended up being found guilty and served over 6 months in prison. Now, look, he's done his time, but prior criminal convictions can be used in a courtroom to impeach someone's testimony, especially when you're assessing their credibility and, in fact, the crimes they committed deal with honesty, deal with truthfulness. We're talking about forgery and theft. That's their star witness. So what did the star witness, the felon, say? Well, what he said is that in October, he got his truck from Long Island and then looked inside, and there was all these ballots he saw, hundreds of thousands of ballots. And they were all filled out, he said. That's what he said at the press conference. They were all filled out, and they were all New York return addresses. Then he drove them to Pennsylvania, to Harrisburg, and then he was told to go to Lancaster, and he left them there. And then he came back the next day, and they were gone. They vanished. Now, we have no police report that he reported it stolen. Secondly, here's the big thing missing in all of this. We have no idea who the ballots were filled out for. If he's going to tell us they're all filled out for Trump, for Biden, that means he's committed a crime again by going through the ballots. But he has not even said that. You have ballots disappearing in October and zero evidence they ever were counted anywhere in any county. In fact, in Lancaster County, the officials there said there's been no over ballots cast and that there's no way duplicate ballots could have been cast in their state. So again, it's utterly destroyed. It's laughable. You have a truck allegedly getting stolen, no connection. These ballots stolen in October end up being counted anywhere, and state officials said they were not counted. And again, the guy's a felon, his lawyer is disbarred. It tells you everything you need to know about the grifter team that Donald Trump has put together here. Then we get the new one, Luggage Gate in Georgia, where the OAN network came up with surveillance footage of people counting ballots, and they're actually not counting, they're moving ballots around in these ballot bins, and have alleged that they made up their own narrative. I have to be blunt. They literally fabricated a tale saying that what we saw in the video of people moving around ballot bins, which are big bins, they called them suitcases, so they sound more nefarious. And that somehow they were hidden and everyone was told to go home. And then they brought out their luggage and they took these ballots out and counted them. None of that is true. As the GOP, their Republican Secretary of State officials have stated today in detail, they're not luggage. They're ballot bins. Second, they were not hidden. You can see in their surveillance video, it's not like under someone's desk that you can't see. They're the ballot bins everyone's been using. When ballots are counted, they go through the scanner, put back in ballot bins. That's all they were. They were moved around. They said that Gabriel Sterling, a Republican official there who's been on TV a lot, said this is exactly what they do. These people were not counting ballots. On the video we saw, they were not scanning ballots. They are putting ballots out. There's a term for them. They're the cutters. And they literally put the ballots out, cut them out, prepare them for the people to count the ballots later. And when they count them, and the officials, Republican officials said, at no time was anyone told to go home. That's not true either. Again, another lie. It's lie. But here's the thing. And the Trump supporters call my show and complain to me, why are you calling me? I said to a Trump supporter yesterday, why not call the U.S. attorney or the prosecutors? And they'll say, oh, it's all Democrat controlled. It's just lie after lie. And I think that one is unintentional. Every U.S. attorney in America has been appointed by Donald Trump, including the U.S. attorney in the Georgia area. So if you think it's a crime, call him up. He was appointed by Donald Trump and confirmed in 2017. Call up all the U.S. attorneys and make your case. Tell them the evidence you have, because what we're seeing, it's absolutely bullshit. And this continues on. And look, do we actually care? Trump supporters don't believe Joe Biden's legally elected president. I really don't. I don't think Trump is a lawfully elected president either. The reality is he had all the powers of a president, regardless of what I thought. Donald Trump was commander-in-chief. He could sign executive orders, sign bills and the laws. So the same thing, they might not believe Joe Biden's president, but Joe Biden will have all the powers of president. And Yes, it's going to be a trying time with Joe Biden as president, but the hope is that we win the Senate on January 5th and pass laws that help people and show Americans why the Democratic Party is vastly better than the GOP, which is only about tax cuts for the wealthy and fascism. Please repeat after me. The GOP is the party of fascism. That's right. Say it again. The GOP is the party of fascism. And I mean that academically, and I define it on my show all the time. Well, thanks for tuning in. Again, my show is live tonight, 6 to 9 p.m. Glenn Kirshner is joining us live, MSNBC legal analyst. We have some great comedians in the third hour, sort of a look back at the week, and we try to laugh a little when it's possible. The show's on channel 127, 6 to 9 p.m., SiriusXM. If you don't subscribe to SiriusXM, go to the website, check out the free trial, call in, be a part of our family, be a part of this. There's so much great stuff going on. The best days of America are ahead of us as soon as Donald Trump is gone, January 20th. Thanks for tuning in.